I think that the Congress and the president and the present president are all nutty as loons. That's the only description I can give. They're gutless, they're unknowledgeable, and that they would expand nuclear capability the way they're talking about doing it, and the military sustains this. Just listen to their statements. It's an abomination. And the tragedy is that when they spend all this money on nukes, these nukes are not usable. If you had any of the 9 countries that would use 100, 200 nuclear devices, it would plunge the Earth into a nuclear winter. You can spend all this money on these nukes, but they're not usable. Because if you use them, you commit global suicide. I mean, just put this together, and so when you see that this stuff goes through the Congress, not only during the Obama administration, but just this last summer, when the Congress appropriated the monies that were authorized by the other administration, but they appropriated the monies. I went on the site to try to find 1 or 2 people that voted against, and I think there was 1 or 2 people that voted against the authorization. When you look at our leadership and you say, well, these are reasonable people, they're not. They're not reasonable. If they were reasonable, they wouldn't be building the suicide bomb that would destroy the planet. And I can say the same thing about the whole attitude towards the environmental issue.
Oh, yeah.
And in both cases, I say this because I'm very pessimistic. I'm an optimist by nature, but I'm pessimistic about that. I doubt that our civilization could well survive the 21st century.
I wanted to actually show a video that just went viral. It's almost as if it was in anticipation of this very interview from 2008. Yeah.
You're right, I made that statement, but that's before I had a chance to stand with them 3 times. It's like going into the Senate. The first time you get there, you're all excited. My God, how did I ever get here? Then about 6 months later, you say, how the hell did the rest of them get here? And I got to tell you, after standing up with them, some of these people frighten me. They frighten me. When you have mainline candidates that turn around and say that there's nothing off the table with respect to Iran, that's code for using nukes, nuclear devices. I got to tell you, I'm president of the United States. There will be no preemptive wars with nuclear devices. To my mind, it's immoral, and it's been immoral for the last 50 years as part of American foreign policy.
Let's use a little moderator discretion here. Senator Gravel, that's a weighty charge. Who on this stage exactly tonight worries you so much?
Well, I would say the top-tier ones. They've made statements. Oh, Joe, I'll include you too. You have a certain arrogance. You want to tell the Iraqis how to run their country. I got to tell you, we should just play get out. Just play get out. It's their country. They're asking us to leave, and we insist on staying there. And why not get out? What harm is it going to do? Oh, you hear the statement, well, my God, the soldiers will have died in vain. The entire deaths of Vietnam died in vain. And they're dying in vain right this very second. You know what's worse than a soldier dying in vain? Is more soldiers dying in vain. That's what's worse.
Wow. Yeah, that was great. And I just want to give a shout out to Rania Kalik and Soapbox, who friend of the show, Rania Kalik, who works for Soapbox, and they made that great video.
You notice that they're all laughing. For them,
yep.
It's humorous. And
yeah.
For me, I was angry as hell.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to take it anymore. I was going to call them out. But
yeah,
it was humorous.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It's just amazing. Just like it was just seen by the other candidates on the stage and by the moderator, who I believe was Brian Williams, sounded like Brian Williams.
Yes, exactly.
Just utterly ridiculous to them.
Yeah. So when you tell the truth in the extremity, you're looked upon as a nutcase, which is what they tried to do to me. And the fact that the young people, excuse me, buy into what I've been saying for most of my adult life, that disturbs them. And so when you had in 2020, these two kids, David and Henry, approached me to run for president. I said, well, do you realize how old I am? And I shouldn't be president. In fact, I reflect back, had I been president, it would have been a Donnybrook, because my attitude on these issues has not changed for for all of my adult life. In fact, I joke with Ellsberg. I joke with Dan and say, Dan, the reason why you go out and protest so much and getting always locked up is that, you know, you at one point in your life were for the Vietnam War. I was never for the Vietnam War from the get-go. And so they may feel insulted when I say that the Congress and the president, whether it's the present president, the former president, or the future president, they're sick, because they will continue to build the suicide plan of nuclear, and the military, of course, will applaud it to the nth degree. Then, of course, will be the certainty of the ongoing environmental crisis. So one is a long arc tending towards the destruction, and the other is a present arc, which at any point you could have an accident. You know, just think, I'm just talking about a couple hundred nuclear devices exploding. You know, when we say we got to have first strike in order to terrorize the world, that we're prepared to use first strike. Well, all that shows the world is we are insane. You know, don't take Gravel's word for it. We are truly insane if we're trying to build all these nukes to terrorize the world with a first strike capability. It doesn't become more abnormal and sick. So what can I say? You as media people delve into the discussion with members of Congress, with members in the administration. Well, I got to tell you, with all due respect to them, they're nutty as loons.